Good luck.
Thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Factual Fridays. Today, we are going over a video that daughter of Otten here got ready for me, and it should be a fun one.
I've had it sitting there since December, before Christmas.
And then a certain somebody just went and did it.
Yeah.
The same video.
Yeah. So we're gonna follow up with his because he's got a little bit more information. But I literally went and spent like an hour getting this one ready, and finally got it uploaded. And god damn it was the same exact day, and there it was on his channel. And I'm like, are you kidding me? What are the odds? You know?
That's exactly right.
But,
and I know that she was spending a lot of time working on this, so just.
It was mostly because of the audio. I had to up the audio like 3 times because TikTok comes out really, really low for some reason.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's still a little bit low, but
we'll work with it. All right, so let's get into this so that we can get talking points.
Thou shalt not bash your husbands in public. Is this right?
Yeah.
Sure. Make sure everything's good before we get started.
Of course. All right. This. No kitty.
So today is my 3-year wedding anniversary, and I can without a doubt say that this has been hands down the most depressing, miserable, horrible 3 years of my life. I have literally never been so depressed. I've never hated another person more than I hate the person that I married. While I run my ass off and I do everything for everybody in my life, like me, my kids, him, he goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck, but he works. That is all he does. I am in a different town because I had to take my kids to their football practice. And I asked him to watch our daughter. And you know what he did? He slept. He slept since he got home. What did I do? I did homework. I fed the kids. I took my son to speech. I went to the bank. I paid people to mow my yard because, you know, he can't mow the yard anymore. I, like I said, made sure homework got done. I got them ready for football. I took them to football. I tried taking care of myself and went on a walk. But, you know, when I started realizing I hadn't heard from him, I'm calling and calling and calling and begging for the bare minimum of him to watch our fucking daughter. Excuse my language. I'm just so upset.
Alright, sorry ladies and gentlemen, our dogs were barking and then we were trying to pause it for a break here.
So if you notice, she says, yeah, he works and his job is hard.
Yeah, she admits
So
it.
what else does she expect?
Exactly.
You know,
It's the whole thing just screams the girl with the woman, what do you call it? I can't do this. You know, the women, the way that they get that
the
type.
entitlement.
Well, yeah, entitlement. I'll just go with, but yeah, it's that whole thing. I mean, she said, man, I just said it. She said the one phrase, and I'm like, there it is.
The bare minimum.
The bare, yes,
yes.
she said the bare
yeah.
minimum,
Yeah.
and that just tells you everything that you need to know. I mean,
Right.
it's that whole talk.
And I begged and begged and begged to get the bare minimum.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, so it's just, she's very entitled and very ungrateful from what I can see.
Yes.
And it's like, well, I tried to go for a walk. I tried to have some me time, but I have to do this and I have to do that. Well, who signed the kids up for these sports and stuff? Who signed the kids up for the extracurricular activities? It's like, I hate to say it, but if it's that much of a strain on you,
then why are you doing it?
Then fuck it. You know, I mean, there's something else the kids can be doing. But no, she has to drive to another town.
Yeah, why did they have to drive to another town for that type of thing?
Probably because it's like an out-of-town game or something. Or practice or some event, you know, which is to be expected.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like with, you know, our son, we can't afford to do those sorts of things.
Exactly.
And, you know, we don't have reliable transportation, so he just doesn't get to do them.
I mean, he was doing dance for a while.
Right.
Until that was just too much for us to do.
And that's a shame.
Yeah.
But, you know, we make up for it in other ways. And when we have the opportunity, then we can do that again. But, I mean, if you can't do it, you just can't do it.
Exactly.
You know?
That's exactly right. You don't pull yourself into more than what you can handle.
Yeah, I mean, it's like those things are kind of good for your kids and everything, you know, but like, I mean, you can make up for it in other ways.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be as ungrateful. You know, you spend time with them, and I don't think they're going to be as ungrateful.
Yeah.
Fucking dogs. All right, let's just continue.
Okay.
To watch our daughter to cut up a watermelon and to make dinner. I mean, that is absolutely bare minimum. That's not asking for much. And it's not even today. Oh, so then when he realizes that he's almost running out of time and we're going to be home soon, he's like, oh, I can't because I don't have this. So you know what a normal person would do? They'd be like, oh, I don't have that. Let me go get it. But guess what? He has 30 minutes until everybody's going to be home. So he's just like, I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to lay now because I waited so long and now I'm mad at myself. Now I'm just not going to do anything because F it. I am 30 years old and I'm literally begging for the bare minimum every single day. I am a married single mom. That's what I am. Yeah, I don't work, but the amount of weight I carry, I have been applying for jobs. I mean, I can tell you right now, the reason women stay in shit relationships is one, because they don't have the means to leave financially, like a house. Two, the idea of a family. I can tell you why I've stayed. Money. It's that simple. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. He used to want me to be a stay-at-home mom. Now he just doesn't care because he doesn't care about anything. I shouldn't have to wake a 32-year-old man up for work. No matter what shift, first, second, third, I shouldn't have to wake him up for work. I shouldn't have to tell him what time to set an alarm if I can't wake him up. I shouldn't have to call or make people go wake him up. I shouldn't tell a grown man that he probably should shower after working all day. I shouldn't have to.
Yes, okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. She was like, I shouldn't. Instead of just helping her partner out, you know, and helping him get up. Yep. You know, making his life a little easier.
Selflessly sacrificing.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes it can seem really lopsided, especially if it becomes to being that time of the month and you just start getting agitated and it's like, well, I do this and I do that and I do this, you know. I get that. I understand. But you just keep doing it.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, when I was only 12 to 13 and then all the way up through my teenage years, I got my dad up for work.
Yeah,
I did the cooking for him. I braided his hair. I set out his clothes. I did all of those things for him so that he could get ready to go to work. I didn't regret it. I didn't of course, sometimes I was like, I'd want to do other things. I have other places to go.
of course.
But I understood that it was my duty because he was going to work. He was bringing in the money, and,
Yes.
he would buy me little things from time to time or take me to the archery range and, just, it's just something that I was supposed to do. And yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's exactly, I'm like, I remember you telling me all those stories.
Yeah.
Of doing that, and that's just what it is it's knowing that you will get back what you're supposed to have in time.
Yeah.
Help somebody else out, help them get up, help them do stuff.
Yeah. Even if you don't think that you're getting that back.
Yes.
Obviously she said that she can't leave because of money, so obviously he's contributing enough money for her to be there and be comfortable. All of this is besides the point, because at the end of the video, I'll tell you exactly why this whole thing is wrong and why, none of this stuff matters even, that she's saying.
I had to tell him to brush his teeth. I shouldn't have to tell him to feed his kids while he's taking care of them. I shouldn't have to tell him to watch his kids. I shouldn't have to tell him what to put the kids in when it comes to clothes. I shouldn't have to tell him where the clothes are. He doesn't even know my kids' teachers' names. I shouldn't have to manage his schedule and mine and my kids. I shouldn't have to tell him, hey, you need to refill your medicine. Hey, you need a doctor's appointment. Hey, you should probably get your oil changed. Hey, your brakes don't sound good. Not only tell him, but then I have to call and schedule that oil change because will he do it himself? No. Will he call himself? No. I am raising another kid. And so what's going to happen when I get my job? I am going to be doing everything that I'm doing on top of working now. I shouldn't have to tell a grown man if he can and can't buy something because he doesn't know how much money we have, because never in his life has he ever downloaded a banking app on his phone. Never has he ever looked at a pay stub. Never has he ever even looked at a bill to see what it costs. So yeah, he might make the money, but who carries the financial weight? Who carries the way to budget the money? Who makes the grocery list? Who makes sure we have food so we can eat food? Who makes sure he has this, that, and everything else? When all he gives a shit about is getting high and sleeping. Because you know what? If he's not high, he's not happy. I should not be begging a grown man for the bare minimum. On top of the bare minimum, I shouldn't have to deal with the anger outbursts, breaking my shit where my door won't even close, putting holes in my walls, threatening to kill me in front of my kids. The list could just go on and on. And yeah, I know I can leave because trust me, I am leaving. But people can't just walk out and leave one day when you have kids and 12 years of life wrapped up together. You got to have a plan. You can't just walk away with nothing. You have to have a plan. My plan is in effect right now, but I just had a rant because I'm just baffled. I just don't want to spend another day like this. And I know I just got to get through a couple more days, couple more weeks. And then what? My kids lose their dad. When I quit forcing him to be one, when I quit forcing him to help, when he loses his job because he doesn't wake up himself, like I don't even know where I'm going with this. It's just not fair. Happy 3-year anniversary to me. Happy 3 years of misery. I mean, I'm trying so hard not to be bitter, but like, I've just never disliked somebody so much that I should love, that I just don't. In sickness and health, better or worse, like, no. Like, so destroy myself and destroy my kids to keep a vow? Nope. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm waiting to get my kids from football so I can go home to a fight that I already know I'm going to go home to. so I can figure out dinner at 8:30 at night and do showers and get everything ready for the next day to do it all over again. Moms literally cannot give up. You just can't give up because nobody else is going to pick up the pieces. Dads will check out. Dads will do this. Dads will do that. But as a mom, you literally cannot because you have to carry it. All right. I'm done ranting. I guess I should say what a perfect day to wear my Patterson Law shirt. Problems with your ex, call Rex. If you need a good lawyer, he's your guy. But don't worry, I'm not going to need a lawyer because he's not going to fight for anything because that's how little he cares, which good for me, but sad for my kids.
However, she didn't appreciate it. I honestly wonder if she would be willing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know you saw us laughing really hard at towards the end of this, and that's because one scene comes to mind when she was saying something.
It's just not that easy to leave.
Yeah, it's just not that easy to leave. And it's Dane Cook, and he has 10 of my CDs in his truck. I can't just leave those CDs in his truck. I have to go put 5 more years of this stuff and get those CDs.
I'll find the clip to put in there
Yes.
for the recap. I know it busted me up too when I heard that. It was just that's instantly where I went with that.
Yep.
So what are your overall thoughts on what this young lady has to say in her very young 3-year marriage?
It's your typical victim mentality. It's, oh my God, he did this to me. He did this to me.
I shouldn't have to do that.
I shouldn't have to be his mother and wake him up, pet his belly, and scratch his head all at the same time. Well, then don't do it. Simple enough.
Most of this stuff she would have known before she was married.
Yeah.
So.
And if it's really that bad, even if it just so happened to come soon, then you have to tell him. Communication is key. Yeah. Say, listen, I'm not going to do this stuff for you. You have to get up. If you don't get up, you're going to lose your job because I'm not your babysitter.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, you've had to do that with things with me.
Right. It's well, if you don't go shopping, we're not going to eat.
Yeah.
Once we found our roles.
It worked.
So she's saying, I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't have to do that. I deserve, okay, so in our religion, what is it that we say so frequently?
What does deserve have to do with it?
It doesn't matter. If we got everything that we deserved, LongWalker and I would be living in a mansion with a whole bunch of servants right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
With 20 cars.
Exactly. So it's deserving. We learned a long time ago it has nothing to do with it. The gods have a certain set of plans in place for you,
yes.
Right? And the other thing that I was going to say, if you're done, it doesn't matter if any of this is true, and it doesn't matter if he's treating her so horribly. You do not, under any circumstances, as a woman, go on and talk about your husband on the internet. You don't berate him or correct him in public, and the internet is public. That's a law. That's a biblical law. And beyond that, even the Buddhists say that you have to respect each other's privacy in the marriage. So I can only imagine that this did not end well for her.
No, not at all. I don't see how it could have.
It seems to be a growing trend among women because I have 2 or 3 other videos here where women are just going on and bashing their husbands online. And I would love to hear their side of the story, but...
Exactly. I would love to hear the guy's side. And say what he says about it.
Right.
What he, does ask for help with, but doesn't get it.
But we're not privy to that because guys most generally don't post that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Because they have some propriety and some privacy in their life. But you should have seen the comments on this. I mean, so many of the comments, you know, the women are like, "You are not his mother," you know, "Kick him to the curb."
Yeah, you're going to hear that a lot.
Echo chamber.
Yeah.
Nobody telling her like it was, saying, you know, this needs to be kept private. This is none of our business, you know. So she's probably trying to build up a case against him for court or something. But what's you? Any self-respecting judge is going to look at that and be like, well, this is not good behavior either.
Exactly.
You're not respecting the sanctity of your marriage. You're just going online and blasting them in front of thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
And look at, like, how many times has this now been reshared? I saw the same video on like 4 different videos on YouTube.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, so that is no longer between them. It's between them and us. And so if they have to come at us to say something, sorry.
Yeah. Them, us, and theirs.
You posted it. We're part of it now.
Yep.
You know, so you made us part of it. We have the right to speak on it.
It's crazy.
But yeah, a judge is not going to respect that, you know.
Exactly. All right, on to the next one. It's Taylor.
The next one is it's a recap of the same video.
Okay.
And it has a follow-up to it.
Okay, on this one, or is that on the second?
No, it's on this one.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today. A woman tried to shame her husband online, and then it backfired. And this is by Modern Dating here. So let's jump into it, guys. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's see exactly what this woman did and what the repercussions were. Let's jump into it.
Well, I run my ass off and I do everything for everybody in my life. Like me, my kids, him. He goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck. But he works. That is all he does. Because trust me, I am leaving. You gotta have a plan. You can't just walk away with nothing. You have to have a plan. I've just never disliked somebody so much that I should love, that I just don't.
My husband left the night that I posted that original video.
She had a husband who was working hard to give her the privilege of being a stay-at-home wife. And then she posted a video talking about the fact that she is unhappy because she is doing too much.
Wait, so let me get this straight. The dude works really hard. He has a difficult job. You know, he provides for you financially, you and your kids, which makes me believe that this is also a single mother, okay? And yet she has the time to jump on TikTok and complain that she's the victim because she's doing absolutely everything. I would love to see these women go out here and try to provide for a family, but they don't. They can't. Okay, it's funny to me because it seems like the dudes are actually the ones putting in all the effort. And then you have these ungrateful quote unquote wives who get on the internet and try and make these videos. And so what happened? The dude left her ass instantly. I think that's absolutely hilarious. It's 100% deserved, you know, and if you weren't happy, you shouldn't have a problem with him leaving you then. Hilarious.
She posted a video talking about the fact that she is unhappy because she is doing too much. She also mentioned that she was planning to leave him. After posting the video, her husband saw it, so he packed his things and left on the same night.
So today is my 3-year wedding anniversary, and I can without a doubt say that this has been hands down the most depressing, miserable, horrible 3 years of my life.
Holy hell. Guys, it's crazy to me, right? How women will get on the internet and they'll be like, yeah, I'm a victim. My marriage is absolutely awful. I'm with a narcissist. He's so terrible. Okay. And then they go on to say nothing that the dude has done wrong. Oftentimes these are great men. But it just amazes me how they jump on here, guys, and they try and convince people that they're the victims, which, you know, if the dude was so bad, if he's so terrible, as you say, why did you marry him in the first place? Oh, I was tricked. is what they will tell you. The man manipulated me. Get the hell out of here. They're such liars, guys. Such liars.
Miserable, horrible 3 years of my life. I have literally never been so depressed. I've never hated another person more than I hate the person that I married.
Well, I run my ass off and I do everything for everybody in my life, like me, my kids, him. He goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck, but he works. That is all he does.
Wow, what a surprise. So this guy is out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So Dr. Barton here's got some more information.
All right, so this is saying, according to Christian teachings, and I mean, maybe she's not a Christian or whatever, but we'll get into that a little further down the line. But at least according to Christian teachings, correcting a spouse in public should be done with kindness and respect. Hold on. It's a baby in mouse.
Yep.
It's important to consider how the correction might be received and how it might make the other person feel. It says to be gentle. Paul says the correction should be kind, like a nursing mother caring for her child. Be patient. James says to be slow to anger and be loving. Remember that you are all equally sinful and that God is the ultimate judge. So, like, you know, kind of put into perspective, well, what have I done also? Am I so sanctimonious that I have the right to talk about that? You know, if the answer is yes, then, you know, go ahead and do your correction. But otherwise, it's like, if you are not so sanctimonious and standing on righteous ground, then you should probably just keep your mouth shut.
Yes, you should. And it's like a lot of girls, though, have become masculine with it. So they get that having to talk down to their spouses and just, who do you think you are? And that's why they have to come off the way that they do.
I mean, even, I think there was only one time in all the years that we've been married that I actually, in public, like, was visibly pissed off at you. And that was Tristan's first birthday when, you know,
yes.
your mother showed up, and I was mad because you didn't lay down the law and tell her that she couldn't be there. And I was just not having it. It was the one time, and I think I was only 22, you know, and
yeah, we were younger.
it's like, it doesn't matter what you have to say in private. I mean, it should still be done in a constructive way, but it's like, you should never do this in a public space.
Exactly. That's just it.
And that's only a handful of people seeing it. On the internet, thousands of people are seeing that.
It's exactly, you know, these women think that it's a private matter and they're posting it privately, but the internet, you have so many more people than what you would even have in a restaurant seeing you.
Right.
It can be seen that much more.
Yeah. You know?
Yes.
It's like, I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, thousands of people. I mean, she had like 6,000 likes on that video.
But see, that's where you find the attention-seeking people.
Right.
You really find out who they are.
Yeah. And I mean, just the whole facial expressions, and I'm so exasperated. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, this is horrible. It's been 3 years of my life that's just been so miserable, and it's just like, oh God, you know, like, do you? Yes, exactly that. But yeah, you can continue if you've got nothing else to say here, because the dogs are still barking.
Out there, he's working his tail off in a difficult job, and you're completely downplaying it. Do you know how many women are out there who would love to be able to sit at home and be a stay-at-home mother, right? Who would love to not have to go out there and work to support their families in conjunction with the dude a lot of the times. Like, this is such a privileged position. You have a man looking after you so that you can chill at home and look after the kids. Now, I'm not saying that looking after kids is easy, guys, right? Obviously. But what I am saying is I don't think that, you know, the women who are making these videos, man, do you really think that they have the capability of going out there and working hard and providing? I don't. You know, so many of them, they go out here, they try and get rid of their husbands, and they just try and get child support so they don't have to work again. You know, like, oh, I'm doing everything. Okay, what exactly are you doing, madam? You know, like it's so insane to me. So insane. You'll never catch these women doing the providing. They're chilling at home. They're looking after the kids, and it's oh so difficult because she has to bathe them and get them ready for bed. It's like, yeah. And also, she says they're her kids, which makes me believe. Also, I mentioned this earlier. I'm pretty sure this is a single mother. So this dude, it seems to me, has married a single mother, is financially providing for her, and she still loses her marbles over it. To be honest, guys, if you're a single mother and you get a committed relationship out of a dude, you should consider yourself lucky, to be honest. Like, I like women who do this crap, man, they think they're valuable. Oh, I have 3 kids. They're my world. But also, I'm looking for a man who's going to be chivalrous. She has kids to another dude.
I am 30 years old and I'm literally begging for the bare minimum every single day.
Wait. This dude is out here working his tail off, and this woman is trying to rant about the bare minimum? Oh, hell no.
And I'm literally begging for the bare minimum every single day. I am a married single mom. That's what I am. Yeah, I don't work. But the amount of weight I carry.
She is talking as if she wouldn't do those things if she was single. This is a type of life most women dream of, but she is complaining about it. Soon, she will have the opportunity to experience the real world. Currently, she is only taking care of the house, and it seems like it's too much. So I wonder what will go through her mind when she starts working full-time and take care of the house.
Well, she's going to think it's a huge injustice. Okay, and this is what many of these women do. Is what they do is they divorce their husbands, or they just act so intolerable, right? The divorce ends up happening, and the reason why they do this is because they think that they can walk away with cash and prizes, and they feel entitled to this man's crap, to the dude's things. You know, they'll go out here, hook up with this guy, marry him for a couple of years, bounce, and then expect his resources. And then they wonder why dudes don't want to get married, even though this woman has done nothing to contribute to those resources. Oh, I did absolutely everything. No. The dude went out there, he worked hard, and he gave you his money so that he could look after you. He gave you the roof over your head. He gave you the food on the table. And these people are so damn ungrateful, man.
This is when she...
All right.
So we've talked about some of the Christian principles. Now this is the Buddhist principles, okay? So it said, in advising women about their role in married life, the Buddha appreciated that the peace and harmony of a home rested largely on a woman. His advice was realistic and practical when he explained a good number of day-to-day characteristics which a woman should or should not cultivate. On diverse occasions, the Buddha counseled that a wife should. All right, let's go down this list and see if she meets any of these. Okay.
All right.
A, not harbor evil thoughts against her husband. B, not be cruel, harsh, or domineering. Not be a spendthrift, but should be economical and live within her means. We don't really know.
No.
But she is like complaining about having to drive to another town.
Yes.
So I think that's more of a time constraint for her, though. All right, guard and save her husband's hard-earned earnings and property. Always be attentive and chaste in mind and action.
We don't know.
Really know. Be faithful and harbor no thought of any adulterous acts.
I doubt.
Be refined in speech and polite in action. Be kind, industrious, and hardworking. Be thoughtful and compassionate towards her husband, and her attitude should equate that of a mother's love and concern for the protection of her only son. Be modest and respectful. Be cool, calm, and understanding, serving not only as a wife, but also as a friend and advisor when the need arises. That's pretty much it. So yeah, that's pretty much
so
the Buddhist principles we've gone over.
She kind of like hit like none of those.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's kind of sad.
The only thing that we can't ding her on is ones that we don't know about, and
exactly.
That's not.
And
a
we're
good
not
place to
saying
be.
that she's good in that.
Right.
We just
don't
can't
know.
blame her.
Right. Exactly. All right. You may continue.
She will realize that in reality, she had a dream husband. Maybe someone told her that being a working single mother is easier, but soon reality will show her otherwise.
I am leaving, but people can't just walk out and leave one day when you have kids and 12 years of life wrapped up together. You gotta have a plan. You can't just walk away with nothing. You have to have a plan.
Yeah, you've got to have a plan to scam the guy, guys. Like, you can't just leave a marriage, leaving it as you came. You have to gain resources from the guy. It's so disgusting. You have to leave with a plan. It's like you're not entitled to anything. These women are not entitled to a damn cent, and yet they think that they are. It's a giant scam, man. That's what it really is.
Plan. You can't just walk away with nothing. You have to have a plan.
He just works, meaning he provides food, clothes, pays the bills, gas, health insurance. Now she can get a full-time job. Publicly sharing personal problems is unwise. I'm just tired. I thought you were strong and independent. Why is there always some woman with no job who's on social media trying to make herself out to be a hero for doing the same stuff she'd have to do if she were alone? My ex-wife said it wasn't fair I had work as an escape, even though my life was just working and home life. When she got a job, all of a sudden it was, I'm burnt out from work and home life. I was like, no. She makes light of work and makes housekeeping seem like an impossible task. Every adult has to do laundry, cook, grocery shop, and clean while on their own. Throw a couple of extra people into doing those tasks doesn't make it much harder. This is a clear example of someone who doesn't have a clear concept of being a team member. She still didn't understand that she was given the privilege of being a stay-at-home wife, and somehow she found a reason to complain about it. Maybe she doesn't know that many women would do anything to be in her position. And here she is complaining as if it was something bad.
Yeah, so the thing is, the women actually don't think outside of themselves. That's really what it boils down to. Like, they're not out here considering other people's experiences or life perspectives or other ways of viewing things. No, it's about, hey, she feels, she still has to do things. Therefore, it's a problem. Like, these women can't go, they can't make logical conclusions about their situation based on the perspectives of other people. It's too complicated for them. All they're thinking about is themselves. It's all about me, me, me. There is no other thought process that comes into the equation. None whatsoever. And if you try and introduce one, then that means that you don't like women, you're the enemy, and so on.
Not realizing that she is living their dreams. If you have a man who is able to give you the opportunity to stay at home with your kids, you should be grateful for that.
He goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck. But he works. That is all he does.
It was interesting that she made this point. She believes that he doesn't do much, but she didn't take into consideration that he pays her bills. And this is the only reason she didn't have to work like most of us. He is facilitating the lifestyle she currently has, but still, he isn't doing enough. She just doesn't know how lucky she is, and this is why she got to the point of crying about being a stay-at-home wife.
I am a married single mom. That's what I am. Yeah, I don't work.
Somehow she doesn't see it as a privilege. Maybe she thinks that most women have the same opportunity and they are refusing it. But soon she will realize that only a few can get it. And she was one of them. However, she didn't appreciate it. I honestly wonder if she would be willing to swap places with him. I bet she wouldn't like that either.
No. Yeah, of course she wouldn't. I mean, they don't switch the roles, guys. Women in general don't like to be the ones providing for men on any sort of long-term basis. Short term, they might do it if the guy's attractive enough, or, that their personal situation deems it, right? Maybe she's out here and she's like 30 years of age. She's looking to have kids or something like this, and she can't get a man with more resources, something like this. But in the long term, man, women do not provide for men. I think men innately understand this. This is probably why, biologically speaking, dudes just have no instinct to gravitate towards women with resources because we don't care. We understand that this crap does not benefit us. Okay. Women, on the other hand, guys, like you think that women's, default setting, as it were, would be to go out there and provide for men? Absolutely not. Men are the ones who are expected to provide. We are the ones who are expected to work. I mean, how many strong and independent womanists do you see out here claiming that a man is only a real man if he's providing something for her? Usually just straight up resources or money or gifts and things like this. That's what makes a masculine man, right? Is a man who goes out here and provides for a woman regardless of whether or not she actually deserves it. So no, she wouldn't switch places, and to be honest, I don't think she could. I don't think that woman is capable of working any sort of 9 to 5 that has any level of difficulty attached to it. I don't believe it. This woman is like sitting her ass at home, and she can barely tolerate that.
I don't understand how she got to this stage when all he wanted was taking care of his family. This is a man who is working hard to provide for his loved ones, not knowing that for some reason his effort was simultaneously making his partner unhappy. I believe that she probably has one of those strong and independent friends who is telling her about the single life they are living. Maybe they convinced her that she is missing in life.
Oh yeah, of course. Like, women have these friends in their ear all of the time, man. Oh, what's that? Yeah. So he works a 9 to 5. He works really hard. His job is difficult. But are you telling me he forgot to take the trash out last night? Or are you telling me that you have to do the dishes every time? What's that? He works a 9 to 5 and it's really difficult, but you're expected to cook dinner every single night. Does this man not understand that you are running around doing everything for him? He's lucky to have you. So what, you're a single mother, so what, you have kids to a different man. They're not even biologically his. He should be lucky to have you because of all you provide. Women get in each other's ears, guys, and they say crap like this, and they actively try and dismantle each other's marriages. Guys, I have known women who have been in marriages for very long periods of time. Okay, I'm talking like very long amounts of years. And these women will have had girlfriends of theirs in the past try and actively sabotage their marriages. This is incredibly common, guys. Women who have successful marriages, or they have marriages in general, long-term relationships and things like this, other women will actively try and sabotage those relationships a lot of the time. They will actively try and undermine the man. They will paint him as a bad person who's not doing enough, even if he's holding up his end of the bargain plus more. I don't think this guy should be providing for a single mother, period. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy is providing for a woman who is a single mother with an attitude. Like, it's just not feasible, guys. No, thank you.
That's a single life they are living. Maybe they...
All right, so we have Hindu, you said, right?
Yeah, so far we've gone through Christian principles and Buddhist principles. This is the Hindu traditions. What makes a good wife is one who is devoted to her husband, serves him with utmost loyalty, maintains the household, and prioritizes his well-being, often embodying the concept of Pativrata, which signifies complete devotion to her spouse, even to the point of self-sacrifice. This includes being faithful, supporting him in all aspects of life, and prioritizing the family unit above personal desires. So the key aspects of being a good wife in Hinduism: Pativrata, the core principle signifying unwavering loyalty and devotion to the husband. Household management, taking care of the home, cooking, cleaning, and managing daily household tasks. Respectful behavior, showing respect to the husband, in-laws, and family elders. Child rearing, nurturing and raising children with good values. Spiritual practice,
Yes.
engaging in religious rituals and prayers alongside the husband. And self-sacrifice, putting the husband's needs before her own in times of hardship. So that's the third religion.
Yeah, and they're all pretty similar.
Yeah.
Hey, Wolf Boy, good to see you.
Hope you're feeling better.
He said, it's a good live when there's Taylor the Fiend.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Any more on that one?
Nope.
All right.
Maybe they convinced her that she is missing in life, that she should also be working and making her own money. But as always, they usually do it to get her to join their crew. This is why people need to be careful who they take advice from, because sometimes those giving the advice don't have our best interest. I did a video related to this topic days ago, where some women commented, they are also stay-at-home wives, and they believe their husband has already done their part by providing for the family, so they happily take care of the rest.
I'm just going to make a little update video because people have been asking. Ignore my stuffy voice. I have like some kind of cold going on, like a head cold. But my husband left the night that I posted that original video.
Oh, excellent. I love these stories. So this woman posted the video and her husband was like, oh, hell no. And he dipped that exact same night. I don't blame him whatsoever, man. You know, this dude, it's funny because this guy was probably at his end straw before she even posted the video and acted ungrateful. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to consider this, okay? This woman released this video, but imagine how much of a piece of crap she would have been behind closed doors. Like, imagine how she would have been treating the guy behind closed doors. If this is how she treats the dude publicly, imagine what it's like when the cameras aren't rolling. I think it would be a lot worse. You know, like, this dude was probably a breath away from leaving this woman, and rightfully so. That is so funny, man.
Left the night that I posted that original video. It's been gone. I think he was here like during the day once or twice while I wasn't here.
Dude left because she posted their business online, so she goes online and gives the internet updates. You can't make this ish up.
Yeah, so she just doubles down and does the same crap again. I've said this on the channel many times, but men don't like having their private business all over the internet. Like their relationship, like ups and downs. Who the hell wants to have the difficulties of a relationship that they're in posted online? I think I can speak for a lot of men when I say that men certainly aren't interested in this crap. And this is why, by the way, so many of these TikTok women, okay, they jump on the internet, they say all this crap. And then what happens is when they're out there looking for a man, men can see this stuff and it's really repulsive. Like, men actively consider, they're like, well, I could date this woman, right? Let's just say it's a dude with options or whatever the case may be. It's like, I could date this woman, but like our relationship business, if we ever did have a relationship, would just be all over the internet. And that is a real red flag to a lot of guys. It really is. Like, why would you get into a relationship with a woman where if you guys have any sort of issue, which by the way, you will, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's inevitable. She's just going to start yapping to people online about it. It's so weird. It's such weird behavior.
This online, so she goes online and gives the internet updates. You can't make this ish up. She needs to get out of his house. Soon she is going to realize how tough life really is. Good for that man for have self-respect, boundaries, dignity, and refusing to accept modern-day silliness. If I ever met him, I'd shake his hand. You have to have a plan. So how did that work out for you? Her husband proved you can leave without a plan. Good job, sir. You made a wise decision. What else did she expect from him? After telling the whole world that you are not happy with your partner, that was expected. She said that she was about to leave him because she wasn't happy. So I think that he just did her a favor by removing himself from that relationship, as it gave her what she also wanted. I am so confused with her mindset. She didn't think this through before making the first video. Now she will have to do both. She will have to work and take care of the house. So the things she was complaining about won't go away because he left her. But
All right, yes, and that's just one of the biggest things is that, sorry, I saw something that Tristan wrote. Anyway, he was asking about all the silly animations. But with women like this, when they go and they roast their guys and then get dumped, and so they're making it so that all of their shenanigans have to be, picked up by themselves now. So they double their load just, you know, in the name of wanting to bash their guy. Yeah. And so it's like, you know, they have to make up everything and do everything themselves, which is what they bitch about in the first place, because they're doing it.
Right.
I mean, that just doesn't seem worth it. Instead of saying, hey, we need to find middle ground here.
Right. Communication.
Yes.
Saying this is like, I feel that this is instead of saying something like, I feel that I'm pulling more than my fair share and this is why, and you should be able to say exactly why, you know, and have like a list of things that you're doing compared to a list of things that he's doing.
Exactly.
Be able to actually weigh that.
Say, okay, hey, can we fix this?
Yeah, bring it up.
Yes.
You know, but they think that, I don't know what the hell they think, honestly, but
No.
I guess they think since they're already quote unquote doing it all, that
A little bit more isn't going to hurt anything.
right. And it's like, well, if you would have like been able to handle the finances, then we wouldn't already be in this situation. You would have left a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Most women feel exactly like this at some point or another in their marriage, especially early on. I think she said she was only married for like 3 years.
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, but usually, and I hate to say it, I don't want to be like that guy, but, you know, it's usually around her time of the month. You know, it's like the week before the bleeding. Like, literally, that's how I feel just about every time.
Fair enough, yeah.
And so, like, you just let it go. You'd never want to post or let anybody,
No.
like I said, I didn't even talk to friends or my mother about things like that. I learned my lesson with that. It's
Yeah.
like, that's just something you keep to yourself. If it's something that continuously plagues you, then yeah, you bring it up. You know?
Part of the problem with your family is that they made the situations worse.
Right.
You tell them something, and they're going to egg you on, which makes the situation that much more bad.
But I mean, I even had friends that I couldn't even obviously trust, because it's like, oh, you should be able to vent to your friends, and
then all of a sudden they're telling information that you're like, well, you're the only one I told.
Yeah, and it's coming back around to me from something. It's like, oh God, you know. So it's like, just keep it to yourself. Suffer in silence.
Exactly.
You know, I hate to say it, but I mean, that's exactly what you should do: is suffer in silence. And like freaking 99% of the time, it's gonna pass, and you're gonna move on, and you're gonna be stronger for it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the way that it is.
It really is, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, but just go ahead and say what you're gonna say, and double your workload and find out. You know, fuck around and find out, as they say.
Find out.
You know?
Yes. The biggest thing that you can say. Find out.
On your next one, I will share what the Muslims say is a good wife. The characteristics of a good wife.
But since he left, she will start doing more than what she used to. So I still didn't understand what she wanted to accomplish. If she thought that she had a hard life before, she is about to be surprised, as things going to be a lot harder going forward.
Yeah, I don't think that this woman actually was capable of a whole lot of thinking, to be honest. Like, if you were to, I don't think forward thinking is really in this woman's realm of consideration. You know what I mean? Like, she just gets on the internet, she says how she feels, and there's not much beyond that. She might try and plan and scheme because she needs money from the guy, but on a whole, I don't think the woman is the sharpest tool in the shed, shall we say.
Or just became a single mother, and based on the videos we have already seen, it's not easy either. In fact, it's more difficult, as they end up being the provider and homemaker. In the first video, she mentioned a plan, and I hope she had time to prepare a good one, as she will need it. I know for sure that soon she will realize that she had a good husband who just wanted to do the right things for his family. A man who provided the environment where she could be a stay-at-home wife, but now it's all gone.
Yeah, so women say this crap all the time, by the way. Like, there are lots of divorced women out there, and they will actually actively refer to their ex-husbands as great men. You know, oh, he was a good guy, he was great, he did everything right, but, you know, we just drifted apart. And they'll just give you some, you know, vague sort of reasoning or something like this. But the fact of the matter is, what I'm trying to get at here is, you can be a great guy, you can go out there, you can provide for women, you can do absolutely everything by the book, And some women will just decide to leave you anyway because they simply feel like it. Or you'll also have a very large percentage of women who also feel like they're settling. The girls who go into like their 30s and stuff like this, and they're looking to settle down now, when they actually, quote unquote, settle down with a man, they feel like they could do better than him, and so they don't respect him. It's completely ridiculous.
The good thing is that he will have no issues finding a woman willing to be his wife, as he is the type of man most women are looking for.
How many hours do you work, Eric?
60 hours a week.
60 hours a week. And how many hours do you work at home?
The same. More. All day, all night.
Really? And then you woke up and realised you were dreaming, you mean?
Well, my
What the hell? What kind of house? Are you like permanently vacuuming or something? Like, how big is your house? You're out here doing 60 hours of work plus a week in the house. Like, shut up, man. Oh, I'm doing so much, Like, oh my goodness, guys. Like, these women just paint it out like they have the most difficult lives ever. And again, I guarantee you, if they were to switch positions with the husband, they couldn't do it.
my day doesn't end sometimes.
What do you mean your day don't end? It don't bloody begin. You
All right.
There was once a Dr. Phil that was talking about time management, and it went on to talk about how women think that they just have no time, that they have the hardest job because they're working at home, and there was a stay-at-home mother thing. And this guy had written a book that says, that you have way more time than you think you do.
Oh, yes.
And he came out all padded up and everything because he thought that the women were going to attack him. It was really funny. But I had to agree because, like, if you're doing time management properly, it's like I have time to, manage the house, take care of the animals, run the YouTube channels, and, teach our son, make food. I don't clean, but I manage the cleaning.
Yes.
And like I said, I work with the animals in place of that. And it's like, it can be all day and it can be, all night, but there's breaks in between. I can do all of those things and still have time to take a nap and play a game.
Exactly. And
so,
I mean, I've seen it with you over and over again. I'm learning my different patterns.
It's just time
to
management.
get it. Yeah.
It's a little harder for you because you're not always here.
No, I'm doing all different things.
I'll be behind you.
What you're doing, doggy.
You go to work sometimes outside of the house, and then
sometimes I'm to town all day.
Right, and since he's been born, it's been a little bit different. I've been spending most of my time taking care of him, and so you've had to pick up my duties where I normally, have them.
And our son's duty since he's not home.
Yes, exactly. So, with cooking, I cook all day, whether it's for us or whether it's
I've learned.
Right, but in between, while the rice is boiling and stuff, you have time to maybe work on the YouTube channels, or, if you want to play a game or watch TV, you can do that. It doesn't...
Exactly.
It's just poorly managed. There's plenty of time. It's just really poorly managed.
And it's just what you want to do.
Right. Yeah, you prioritize.
Yeah, exactly that.
And I mean, if you want to make it an all-day thing, hell, I used to wash the laundry by hand.
Yeah.
And dry it outside. It's like, don't sit there and tell me that there's not enough time.
Oh, there is.
And I remember my old friend from up the road complaining about that. I'm like, girl, you got a fucking washing machine and a dryer. Don't give me that shit.
All we have is a washing machine.
Yes, and it's been like
thanks to Grandpa.
I was gonna say it's been a godsend because washing by hand in the wintertime is like hell. As a matter of fact, you used to just go down and take it to the laundromat in the wintertime.
Once a month. Yeah,
it would never dry here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I haven't calculated how much time I spend. I think, like I said, we all are awake for 17 hours out of the day.
Yeah.
And every minute of that is filled with one thing or another, but that does include our downtime, and our gaming time. So I don't know what they're doing, but
no, we make it work.
Yeah. It's a busy life and it's kind of a strenuous life, but there's still time to do the fun stuff.
Yes, there is.
I schedule that in because it's really important.
Oh, it is. You want to be able to have a little bit of time for yourself and to be with your family.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that vital.
That's important, Grooming for me, doing my hair and my face and nails and all that, that's factored in and everything. You know, there's no reason for women to say that they don't have time.
No, there really
It's
isn't.
like up until recently, I know I only had one child, but I have like, you know, 5 wolf dogs and 2 horses, and at one time I had like 5 horses, and
Yeah.
actually before that I had 10 horses, you know, and
Yeah, we've had animals, that's for damn sure.
at one point or another I had 60 cats that I had to take care of.
Yes.
And on average here we have about 13. So it's like, don't tell me you don't have time. You know?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Make it a priority.
Did you have the next one?
On the next break I will share it.
Okay.
You spent time on the phone. You spent time just walking around the house, up and down. You spent time walking back and forth from a dining table with your kids. I don't know what you do with your hours. But I tell you one thing as a woman, if my husband's working, I do want to make sure that I'm doing what I should be doing at home. And if now I'm making you think about that, because this is the first time I've seen you become emotional.
This was the first time she actually thought about her husband's effort to keep the family going, and this is why she got emotional.
No, I disagree. I don't think that this woman is actually considering the guy or understanding his perspective. I just think she doesn't like the accountability, and so she starts crying. You know, like people always seem to misinterpret this crap, but my opinion, guys, is that these women, they don't change their minds about this stuff typically just from somebody telling them that they're wrong. Usually what happens is they double down. Just because they're crying, oftentimes they're crying just because somebody's calling them out. You know, it's not because they actually think that their actions were wrong, or because they've realized that they're entitled, or because they realize the amount of effort that the husband is actually putting in. No, the tears come out because she's being held accountable, and she doesn't like being held accountable.
Because it's the first time you've even had to sit and think about your actions. You're right.
She's planning divorce. I switched with my partner. She wanted to work. I'm at home with the kids. I'm living life.
Yeah, we'll see how long this lasts. Okay, because guys, I'm still not of the belief that women like to provide on any sort of long-term basis for men.
And instead of changing, she filed for divorce, demanded full custody, child support, and alimony.
Is this real? Is this actually what the woman did? Because I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. This is what I'm talking about. There was no, you know, oh, she realized the error of her ways because she's crying. No, she probably was continued to do the exact same thing that she was doing anyway. And it sounds like she divorced the guy, demanded full custody and child support and alimony. So, hey, make of that what you will.
She will go to sleep that night and wake up as if that conversation never happened.
Exactly.
If you ever find yourself in that situation, don't waste time trying to get your partner to understand your position or why they should keep doing their part. All you need to do is politely ask them if they are willing to swap places. After that question, you will see how quickly they will agree that you should continue being the solo provider. Most guys who are able to give their partner the privilege to be a stay-at-home wife are working long hours and doing a lot of overtime to cover all the expenses.
Yeah, see, here's my perspective on it, guys. I don't think a lot of these women are worth providing for in the first place. But if you have a woman who's entitled like this, you know, she comes at you and she feels like you're not doing enough, even though you're working super hard and everything, she just leave her ass, in my opinion. There is no convincing. We're not going to have a discussion about this. Oh, would you like to go out there and do this? No, if she's ungrateful, just no. We don't deal with ungrateful women over here. Okay? Like, holy hell, there are so many dudes who are just done with dealing with ungrateful women. You know, men are not out here as much these days trying to convince women that their position is a good one. I don't think a lot of guys are interested in convincing women of anything. You know, but I provide and I do this. Would you like to switch places? It's like, no, if she can't understand what you're doing, ditch the woman. Like, complete waste of time. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.
Okay, we are unmuted.
Guru was talking about Dobby being all cute and everything.
Oh, I know.
I'm
it's
like-
on my
It
lap.
was like it's impossible to keep him out of your lap, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so far we've talked about the Christian principles, the Buddhist,
The Buddhist, Hindu.
Now we're
Yeah.
going on to what you look for in Islam, which would be
Yes.
like Muslim cultures, right? And they look for the righteous wife, one who is good in many aspects, a nefer. She is one who it is thought will guard her chastity and her honor in the husband's presence and absence, and be diligent with regard to both minor and major issues. She is one of good character and has good manners. She is not known for foul speech, meanness, or bad manners. Rather, she is good-natured, pure of soul, and clean of heart, speaks in a gentle manner, and treats people kindly. More important than all of that, she accepts advice and listens to it attentively and wholeheartedly. She is not one of those who is used to arguing stubbornly and arrogantly. Let's see. So basically, everything that woman is not.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay, an elder from the tribe of Banu Arbar said it was that women are of three types. One who is easygoing, gentle, chaste, and dignified. Muslim, religious.
Yeah.
A help to her family and not a burden on them. One who is merely a vessel for childbearing. And one who is like a heavy yoke that Allah places on the neck of whomever he wills and takes away from whoever he wills. So those are the three types. The good one, and then the vessel, and then the pain in the ass.
Yes.
One of the scholars said, the best of women is the one who, if she is given, she is grateful, and if she is deprived, she is patient. So if she's deprived, she is patient.
Yeah.
And in this situation, this woman is feeling very deprived. She doesn't feel like she has enough time. She doesn't feel like she has enough attention. She doesn't have enough help. But she is not being patient.
No, that's what I was going to say. She's not patient.
You feel happy when you look at her.
No.
And she obeys you if you instruct her to do something. She is the one who upholds her connection to her Lord and always strives to increase her level of faith and piety. She does not omit any obligatory duty, and she is keen to do some nafil, supererogatory deeds. So she'll do what is her duties and then some.
Yes.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, try. I'm a little mean though. She gives precedence to pleasing Allah. May He be glorified over everything else. And I do feel like that. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't call him Allah, but God, the Aten
Yeah.
is. It's like that's like
Yeah, Ra.
yeah, you gotta put your faith in that first and serve
Yes.
and be pleasing to the gods. That's what we always taught us, to be pleasing to the gods.
Exactly.
Concerning that, the Prophet, blessings and peace of Allah be upon him, said, choose the one who is religiously committed. May your hands be rubbed with dust. May you prosper. The righteous wife is the one whom you see serious about caring for and raising your children, teaching them Islam, good manners, and the Quran. So for us, like the rules, the way.
Yes.
The love for his messenger and love of good for people. At least animals.
Very much so, yes.
Her main concern is not what they may attain in this world of prominence, wealth, and degrees. Rather, she is concerned that they should attain a high level of piety, religious commitment, good character, and knowledge. In addition to all of that, the Muslim should choose a wife who gives him comfort when he sees her, and he feels joy in his heart when she is present, so she fills his house and his life with ease, joy, and happiness.
Goddess, you do.
So see, in at least 4 of the religions now, it is up to the woman to bring peace
to the table.
to the table, right?
Yes.
And so if that's like the very basic, if that's the bare minimum, you know,
That is
they're not hitting that.
no.
You know, so that's really
No, none of those women that we've really seen have brought peace.
No.
In any means.
There's no way, because if they're doing that stuff behind their husband's back,
Yeah.
you can imagine, you know. So, and in just a little bit, I'm going to try and find, since not everybody's religious, I'm going to find out like what therapists say is
Yes.
a good way.
That's a good idea.
So while I'm looking that up, you can
Go on to the next one.
Yeah. If you have anything to say, feel free to say it.
I've been crying all morning long. My husband told me that I needed to pack my stuff and get out the house. So I have my bag and I'm about to start packing. I literally have nowhere to go. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So there's a few things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right, so Benny Bloop here wants to know what is my purpose. And it's quite simple. My purpose is to be the queen of the castle.
She claims she doesn't owe her husband any wifely duties, but let's see how that turned out.
So there's a few things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number two, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family. So I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number three, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't. Won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. Like, that's his responsibility. Number four, he is responsible for replacing any of his essentials like soap, shampoo, anything like that. He needs to go buy it himself. Even if I'm at the store, I will not be replacing it for him. If he needs new underwear, new socks, or anything like that, that's for him to do. I'm not going to do it for him. I'm not going to enable a perfectly grown-ass adult, because then they get used to that shit. So, no.
In this clip, all I see is a lady who's self-centered.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. This one, okay. There's a few things that irks me on this one. Number one was that she does not cook. Now, that is by no means okay. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I did the cooking sometimes, and then my wife here does the cooking sometimes. And
I would honestly like to say that I do like 80% of the cooking.
Yeah, but I mean, our son does some too.
I would still say I do 80% of the cooking.
Yes.
But like when I needed you guys to, when I was down after, the laying in and everything, you guys did it all.
Yeah.
So, and still right now, I would say you still probably do majority of it, just on a normal basis.
Yeah. But I mean,
that's my claim.
To me, I mean, everybody should know how to cook. Your kids should definitely know how to cook. I have known, like, my brother could not even make mac and cheese. That's how stupid it was.
Yeah, that's.
It was like, I mean, not knowing how to even do mac and cheese is the simplest things. What if you were home?
Right.
I mean, if you were the only one home, what are you doing?
Right. I mean, I guess you're starved, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand any of this. And then, okay, she said the second thing was pay the bills. Now, I understand that the man is most generally the winner and most generally will take care of all the material things like that.
Unless she's not doing like regular wifely duties.
Yes. Yeah. Unless, you have a boss B that wants to go out and do her own stuff. I mean,
that's really hard though.
Yeah.
Like marriage is really hard with those kinds of people either way.
It is. No doubt. Did you hear him? He went wah all the way through it. Okay, now number 3 was what?
She won't do his laundry.
Don't do his laundry. Again, another one I do not agree with by any means. Again, to me, that is an everybody thing.
Right.
Anybody can do it.
And
she's not enabling anybody by, well, I won't do it for them because I don't want to enable for them. That's not
that
enabling.
doesn't make sense,
That's just,
that's being
if you're
courteous.
doing laundry, do everybody's. Because, I mean, what's the point?
You're gonna waste water?
Yeah, waste water,
I mean,
waste soap,
right.
waste everything.
Waste time.
Well, it's everything.
Yeah, I mean, also, shit, I was gonna say, damn it, I forgot. I don't know. You got me all mixed up here.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It wasn't you. It was him.
And then number 4 was the essentials. Now, if he's going to the store, then yes, he's responsible for getting what's on the list. Now, if you're going to the store, you're not enabling by picking up an extra socks because he doesn't have any. That is by no means enabling.
That's just that's a rude ass person.
That's just helping your partner out.
Right. I mean, that's buying stuff for the household.
Yes.
I don't do any of the shopping anymore.
But I mean, if you did go out and I needed something, I would ask you. I would be like, hey, can you?
Again, saving time, saving resources, saving having to drive out.
But
it's just a courteous thing.
But she's saying that even when she goes out, she will not get him anything. Because I'm not enabling him.
I don't think she understands the meaning of that word.
I don't think so either.
And what caught my attention, this is what I was going to say, is she says, my children. So that means to say that she has children from a previous relationship.
Yes.
And this guy was stupid enough to get into a relationship with her, get married, but he's got no claim to anything. Right?
Yeah.
They're just her children, and
exactly.
She'll take care of them, and them will. It's like, what, lady?
What? All right. So I mean, you hear what I have to say on all of that. Anything else?
No.
If she doesn't cook for him, help with bills, or do his laundry, what's her role in the family? She says it's his responsibility to provide. But if he's providing for her, what is she giving him in return? It's almost like he's still single, handling everything on his own while she just benefits without contributing. If she expects him to meet all his needs by himself, then what's the point of being married? Marriage is supposed to be a partnership, not a one-sided arrangement where one person does all the work while the other reaps the rewards. If she's not willing to share the responsibilities, then it begs the question, why get married at all?
All right, so Benny Bloop here wants to know what is my purpose. And it's quite simple. My purpose is to be the queen of the castle. I just sit back on my throne and I supervise the peasants. I mean, my husband. No, but all jokes aside, my husband is very lucky to have me. Like, I could promise you that he's very, very lucky. And I'm pretty sure my husband has endless stories to tell his friends, his co-workers about how much of a helpful wife I am. But also, my purpose is to make sure that my husband never feels outshined by my cooking, by my cleaning, or my laundry skills. It's called selfishness. I need to make sure that he knows that he could do everything that I could do, or even better. But no, let's be for real. My purpose is to keep the couch warm and to keep the remote close. It's a vital role in our marriage, and that's what works for us.
All right, daughter of not here, really hoping this is actually satire because I love the fact that she says, he needs to know that he can do everything that I can do, or better sometimes. And it's like, okay, so he can breastfeed? I want to see this, please. If you're listening, please record what you're doing. Record him breastfeeding your kid. We've got to see this.
Well, apparently that's possible now because, you have men that are chest feeders.
Then record it and show us.
And see if he does it as well, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of women that
because she said that he can do everything that she does as good, if not better.
And I don't believe that anyway with raising children in general.
Yeah, I don't either.
So,
That's why I want to see it.
I'm really hoping this is satire. I'm reading this and it's like, I don't know, man. If this is for real,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
exactly the way it is.
But what that video proved to me was that men clearly do not pay attention. Yes, they watched the video, but they didn't read no captions or hashtags, and they fell right into the trap. So that was a proven fact that men don't pay attention. You can't multitask and watch a video and read at the same time. All these men are so mad for no reason.
If she claims to be a queen, then she should be helping the king and taking good care of him while he provides and protects her. She says her husband is lucky to have her, but what kind of luck is she really talking about? I can't imagine the kind of stories he has to tell. Probably just tales of stress, frustration, and the weight of carrying everything on his own. It's interesting how she talks about not outshining him and making sure he knows that whatever she can do, he can too. But if he's providing for her and still has to worry about himself, what's the point of their marriage? It's almost like he's single, handling all the responsibilities alone while she just sits back and benefits without lifting a finger. She talks a big game about being a queen, but a real queen supports her king. If she's not willing to contribute, then what is she really offering in the relationship? We men might not always be the most attentive, but actions speak louder than words. The next clip will be the result of what's going on.
I've been crying all morning long. My husband told me that I needed to pack my stuff and get the fuck out the house. So I have my bag and I'm about to start packing. I literally have nowhere to go. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Everybody in the comments was right. He does deserve somebody better. And I hope and pray that he finds someone better. I didn't know that me making that video was gonna, upset him so much. And it made him realize what kind of piece of shit woman I really am. I don't know what to do. And this should be a wake-up call for women that are like me. Please make sure you bow down to your man. Please make sure you cook for him. Make sure that you do his laundry or anything like that, because he could kick you out any time of the day. So please make sure that you cater to your man, okay?
He actually deserves someone who appreciates what he has to offer, and I hope he finds that person. It's sad how good men sometimes end up with women who don't see the value they bring to the relationship. She wasn't helping him out at all, and then she had the nerve to make a video about it, as if she was proud of what she was doing or not doing. What was she even thinking? Her husband was trying to make things work, probably to avoid a divorce, maybe because of the kids. But there she was on social media, boasting about how she was doing him a favor by staying with him. It's almost laughable, but also sad, how she thought she was some sort of prize. She even admitted that she had nowhere to go, so what's her plan now? Sometimes people don't realize what they have until it's gone. In this case, her husband deserves so much more than what she offered or didn't offer. Now, she's dealing with the outcome of her own choices.
Where the I be finding these people who be obsessed with y'all? Because I want one.
She's going to keep searching because we good men who would be ready to treat her well are stepping out of the dating market. Because of women like the one in the first clip who don't see our worth and value. We're tired of being overlooked and taken for granted. Instead of wasting time on people who don't appreciate us, we're focusing on other goals and building our future. There's no point in sticking around when we're not valued. So, while she keeps looking for the perfect man who's going to be obsessed with her, we are moving on. We're choosing to invest our energy into things that matter, like our careers, passions, and personal growth. We know our value, and we're not settling for less.
So, I have woken up feeling so rough this morning. I have a swollen tongue. My throat is absolutely killing me. I've got ridges in my tongue where my teeth have been digging in the whole night. I can barely swallow my own saliva. But anyway, I had been on 2 dates with this guy and he was really lovely. And there was nothing wrong with him. There just wasn't that spark there. which is fair because you have to, like, I don't know, date around to find your person, I suppose. But I've actually really realised I'm actually happy being on my own. Really content and happy to not give my time and energy to other people. And I don't know whether that's because I had a real bad end to a relationship, very toxic end, that I'm now like, everyone showed their best self at the start, and then, like, if it was to ever end, are you going to be a see you next Tuesday? Who knows? But I definitely know that I know how to handle that now. But I haven't been touched by a male in over a year, well, nearly a year, not over a year, nearly a year. And it's the weirdest thing. I nearly got run over by a bike. The date pulled me in by my waist to make sure that I didn't get, like, hurt. The panic was unbelievable. I was like, oh my God, he's touching me. But he did it as in, like, to help me. But the panic, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And obviously I shouldn't feel like that. I should feel like, yeah, touch me if I really liked him. Very, very strange.
Her unrealistic expectations led her to turn down a good man. If he was good looking and nice, then what spark is she talking about? Social media has given them this mindset that they have endless options, which is a major problem. She thinks she can date around until she finds the one. But in reality, she's just missing out on good men right in front of her. They often complain about leaving toxic relationships, but fail to recognize the role they played in those situations. It's not always the man's fault, you know. Sometimes their own attitudes and unrealistic standards are the real issue. She says she wants a relationship and complains about being single for so long, but at the same time, she doesn't allow room for a man to truly come in. The truth is, if she keeps waiting for a man who ticks every single box on her delusional checklist, she's going to be waiting forever. We good men are out there, but we're not going to keep knocking on a closed door. If she's not careful, she'll end up alone, still clinging to the idea that something better is just around the corner, while the good ones move on without her. I got a question on Quora that reads, why are genuinely good guys so rare? It's got the first response that reads, they aren't rare. Really? They are everywhere. Walking dogs, working in offices and factories, and putting things together on construction sites. Look at how many good guys are on Quora. So here's my suggestion. Instead of looking at guys from a possibly romantic perspective, look at them as potential friends. Consider the ones who are not quite handsome, or don't have cars, and have cats and read a lot. Pick a geek or a shy man, or one that would rather cook a fine meal instead of watching football. Instead of dating to see if there is a chemistry or sexual tension to explore, do things together to see if a friendship might bloom. I will get some flack for my next idea. I don't care. Don't have sex with guys for months. Sometimes when girls consent to sex early in the relationship, the guy tends to dismiss the girl's value. I don't understand this. Sometimes the impression she gives is that she does not value herself very highly. I don't know what is happening with you, but your question leads me to believe that guys don't treat you well. Do an experiment around this. Remove the possibility of sex from the equation and make your connections with guys about other things for 6 months and see if the yucky guys hit the road and 1 or 2 guys are still there. This will be all for today. What do you think about this video? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video.
His teacher or something back from school, man. You know, oh, this behavior is inexcusable. He's not a dog.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, are you gonna tell them what we're doing?
You're reviewing something, right? This
Yeah, I'm going to review the last thing since we've been through all the religious points of what
Yes.
makes a good wife. We're going to see what psychology says about being a good wife.
All right.
And then we'll do one last video from Taylor, and that's it, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because it kind of fits in with the same thing. It's another wife bashing her husband online, which is said not to do.
Yep.
As we've learned throughout this whole thing, you know, it's considered a public space, and we're not supposed to admonish you in public spaces. So
Exactly.
That'll tie it up nicely, I think.
Yes.
All right. So, according to psychology, a good wife is someone who demonstrates qualities like strong communication skills, mutual respect, emotional support, shared values, and a sense of independence, and the ability to understand and address both her own needs and her partner's needs, while maintaining her own integrity and not sacrificing her own well-being to fulfill a traditional wife role. With quotes around wife. I don't see what's wrong with that, but
They have quotes around it?
yeah. Essentially, a partner who actively contributes to a healthy and balanced relationship. Okay, so this is like for all the non-religious people, the people that maybe are atheists or whatever, you know, that don't believe in traditional gender roles or whatever.
And that find it insulting for religions to put
wife roles,
Yeah.
right? But it still says the following. It says, key aspects of a good wife in psychology: open communication, expressing thoughts and feelings honestly and actively listening to her partner. They're not doing that when they're bitching on the internet.
No, none of them are.
Emotional support, providing encouragement, empathy, and understanding during difficult times. Respectful behavior, valuing your partner's opinions and treating them both with consideration. Shared values and goals, aligning with your partner on important life principles and aspirations. Self-awareness, understanding her own needs and expressing them clearly. Obviously not.
No.
Personal growth, continuously working to improve herself and contribute to the relationship. Obviously not.
Nope.
And boundary setting, knowing her limits and being comfortable asserting them when necessary. Obviously not.
No, not at all.
The concept of a good wife is not about fulfilling a traditional submissive role, but rather about being an equal and supportive partner. A healthy relationship requires both partners to actively work toward being good partners to each other. Individual needs and expectations within a relationship can vary, so open communication is crucial to understand what constitutes a good wife within a specific partnership. So it says a good wife is generous of spirit, but not to a fault.
Meaning that you respect what the other person is thinking, is doing, but don't get stepped on.
Right. Because a lot of them think the traditional wife roles of being submissive is something that's like, you know,
that was the old.
Yeah, it's like psychologically damaging somehow, although it does bring you closer to God, in my opinion. So,
oh, it can, yes.
Because I do believe in this submission and, you know, just like falling into that, because, you know, it's like that's if you're called to, you know, a higher thing with religion, though, you know.
Of course.
But so through Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and psychology, all of these women are doing everything wrong. They're doing everything wrong.
For everything.
No matter how you slice it.
Anything that you look up to say what a wife, husband role should be, they're not doing.
No, not at all. So, long story short, do not go on the internet and bash your spouse. I mean, that's it.
Well, I mean, they've got everything now for YouTube videos on how to do this or how to do that. Most of them are wrong anyway.
I should do one. It's like, all right, how not to, you know?
Yes.
But let's just follow up with this last clip from Tyler, I guess. And if you're done, I'm done.
Yep.
That's it.
Thank you, Dr. Vaughn, for filling us in with all those abbreviations. And
it's my job. I'm supposed to be a shepherd.
All right. Let's get on this.
Yo, what is going on, guys? So I was just about to head out, but I came across this video clip, which is just absolutely wild. It really goes to show you some of the things that I have been saying on this channel about marriage. But this is a woman who quite literally has gotten on here just to make a TikTok video about trash talking her husband. Now, she has no friends. She has nobody to talk about this to, so she decides to make a TikTok video. And that's not just me being mean, okay, being an a-hole. This is her words. She has no friends, and this video is deliberately designed to trash talk her husband. Now, if I have time, we will cover some other video clips here today, but I wanted to get this video out specifically to show you this because I thought it was just so damn ridiculous. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's jump in and see who was in the right and who was in the wrong in this woman's story.
I'm going to talk shit about my husband. And if you're not into people getting on the internet and airing their dirty laundry and talking shit about their spouses, keep scrolling. This is not for you. But I don't have any real life friends, so the internet gets my drama.
I'm just wondering who is searching for this content, by the way, guys. You know, I cover this stuff here on YouTube because it's absolutely stupid, you know, but I don't know. Is this a niche? Trash talking your husband or something like this? Like, are you expecting to build a fan base off of this? I'm really quite confused. Doesn't make any sense, but yep, has no friends, checks out.
But I don't have any real life friends, so the internet gets my drama. Tell me if this would piss you off. My husband says he's going to go golfing. Okay, this was yesterday. I already wasn't crazy happy about it, considering it's couple days before Christmas. He knew that I had a ton that I needed to do. I had voiced my concerns to him about this. Hey, this is taking up really valuable time on a week that we don't have any extra time. And then I'm like, you know what? Stop. He doesn't get to go out with his friends often. He doesn't get to do fun things very often. You can make time for your shit later.
So let me just start off by saying this husband of yours is, he's dealing with way more than I would ever put up with personally. This guy wants to go out golfing and you lose your marbles over it. But in the end, you grant him permission. How thoughtful of you, Your Majesty, so that this guy can go out golfing. Okay. And I have seen this so many times, man. Women will be like, oh, we're just so busy. It's the holiday season. I have to run around and do all these things. And I swear to you guys, women make this period so much more stressful than it has to be. You know, oh, we've got to go get gifts for this and that. We've got to do this and we've got to run here, there, blah, blah, blah. And they want to do it within like 2 days of Christmas, which was just at the time of recording this video, you know, recently gone. And it's just so stupid. These people are so headache inducing sometimes, man. I don't know how the husband puts up with it, probably by going golfing, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not a man who likes golfing, but if I had to deal with a woman like this involuntarily, I'd probably pick it up just so I could leave the damn house. But yeah, she's not happy about it. I am so sick of hearing these stories, guys. Like, you know, oh, your wife is disapproving of you going golfing. What the hell are you married to her for, man? Get the hell out of here.
Really valuable time on a week that we don't have any extra time. And then I'm like, you know what? Stop. He doesn't get to go out with his friends often. He doesn't get to do fun things very often. You can make time for your shit later. Let him go. So he goes.
Wow. So kind of you, Your Highness, to grant him permission. And this is the problem that I have with so many modern women, guys, is like, they're just completely unreasonable and they think that the guy should be lucky to be granted permission, even though it's a completely normal thing. It's not like this dude, you know, is out here going to women's houses and claiming that they're his girlfriends or something like this. The guy's going golfing, man. You know, insofar as the story, I believe she goes on to say afterward, this really pisses her off, bit of a spoiler. He goes out to have some drinks afterwards, which absolutely makes her more mad, as you can imagine. But, you know, it's not like this dude's hitting up the club and it's not like he's a woman and he's out here dressing promiscuously and can get attention and all of this kind of stuff. The man's going out golfing. He's hanging out with his friends. He's trying to have a good time. And she's like, yeah, I gave him permission. Disgusting.
He doesn't get to do fun things very often. You can make time for your shit later. Let him go. So he goes. He leaves the house around 8 a.m. yesterday. I get like 1 or 2 texts from him throughout the day. 6 o'clock in the evening rolls around. At this point, I'm thinking he's got to be on his way home, right? Like he's coming home, right? Our kids go down at 7:30. The wife of his best friend texts, hey, the boys are sleeping off their golfing day. AKA, they got so shit-faced that it's 6 in the evening and they're passed out at his buddy's house.
You know what? Okay, let me just say this. I'm not a golfer. Okay. I can't really say I've been one for the hobby, nor personally do I drink. Okay. But I do understand why this guy does not want to return home. I understand why he leaves from 8 a.m. till over past 6 p.m. It's probably because he doesn't want to deal with you. That's really what it comes down to, man. These women are like, why is my husband just always at work? And I mean, oftentimes the dude is just trying to provide for their family, make ends meet, and keep the roof over their heads, pay the mortgage, and so on. But a lot of times as well, man, the husbands don't want to be around these women because they're simply insufferable. They don't come home from work to a peaceful environment. They come home from work to headaches and nonsense and problems, which quite frankly, you should have solved. This woman, for example, she later on in a minute will go on about how she's a stay-at-home mother. Okay, so this dude's out here working, making the money, I assume. And it's like, okay, you have your job, he has his, but then these women still want assistance being a stay-at-home mother. You know, it's like the dude is expected to do his job, but your job he's also supposed to help you with. Crazy, man.
So shit-faced that it's 6 p.m. and they're passed out at his buddy's house. So I'm like, that's so fantastic. You left to go golfing all day, which is already annoying to leave me with the kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I get very few breaks. Now I'm like working on my day off, you know what I mean? And I'm doing bath and bed and like all the routine. Sorry, I hit stop for a second. So I'm not doing that all by myself. That's already annoying. That's already just rude. At this point, I'm just thinking that's rude. You don't even give me a heads up you're not going to be home. You don't give me any kind of indication that you might miss bedtime. Like,
yeah, so the reason why this guy doesn't do this is because he doesn't want to talk to you because you're insufferable. I said this like 2 seconds ago, but man, these women just simply don't understand this. Why would the dude, let me get this straight, okay? I'm seeing this video, and this is my first greeting of this woman. And let me just say, I totally understand why the dude doesn't want to return home. I don't know why dudes put themselves in this situation in the first place, man. They marry women like this who have an issue with them going golfing. I mean, I already think that marriage is a complete scam for men. I really do. But add this on, like, this is your reward for risking everything, is a woman who just nags you, has an issue with you going golfing, and so on. It's like, dudes just take on all of these headaches, man. They really do. You got dudes out here trying to date single mothers, man. They're getting into marriages with women who are quite frankly awful. They're trying to have relationships with women who hit the club. A lot of guys out there, man, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Now, there's a huge portion of men who are refusing to date these days, and those numbers, believe me, they are growing every single damn day. But there are still a lot of dudes who they just ask for more suffering in their life, to be honest. And I don't understand it, man. I really don't. I don't want to be around this woman at all. I don't want to be her husband. I don't want to be her friend. I don't want anything to do with this woman whatsoever.
I'm just waiting on a heads up you're not going to be home. You don't give me any kind of indication that you might miss bedtime. Like, I'm just waiting all day for you to get home, and then I find out you're not home. Also, you're 34 years old and you have 2 kids at home, and you let yourself get so drunk that you had to pass out. And then I get a text at 11:30 at night. Oh, hey, I'm on my way home. Sorry. Inexcusable. Freaking excusable.
What are you, his like parent or something? Oh, it's inexcusable. Notice how she's talking like she's his teacher or something back from school, man. You know, oh, this behavior is inexcusable. He's not a dog, okay? Like, women who talk like this, man, oh, this is just simply inexcusable. This behavior is unacceptable. Okay, peace, man. This is exactly why the dude dips out the entire time and he doesn't want to talk to you. I would not be surprised at all if this dude didn't even fall asleep and he just wanted to go and just do whatever for the day and just not have to deal with you, you know, and have an excuse not to answer, or not to send you all of these messages and things, man. Like, that's really what it comes down to. I don't think that this guy wants to be around this woman. And I've known this woman for how many minutes have I seen this video, man? Like, what are we, like a couple of minutes, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes I have known this woman for. And I'm already more done than the husband is, I think.
I'm sorry. Then I get a text at 11:30 at night. Oh, hey, I'm on my way home. Sorry. Inexcusable. Freaking excusable. That was so unbelievably inconsiderate and rude. I'm pissed off at him, and I'm pissed off at the friend he was with, because Jesus, you are in your mid-30s. You are too old to be acting like that. So I'm pissed off, right? I'm furious, obviously.
So, by the way, this guy's what, 34? She said, oh, you're too old to be acting like that, is what this woman's claiming. I mean, this dude's probably thinking to himself, man, I'm too old to... Dudes get older. They just don't... They just have less and less tolerance for headaches. I think that's true of anyone who really gets older in life, man. They kind of just realize that what is the point of adding unnecessary stress to yourself? And they will just remove themselves from these sorts of situations. Especially, like, you can already tell what kind of woman this is within 2 seconds of her opening the video, because she specifically makes this video to trash talk her husband. She doesn't respect this guy. She doesn't like this guy, right? She's with him because, again, he's the one who's out there providing. Again, men are expected to go out there, provide. But if he wants to go out golfing, then it's like this major issue because of all of these miscellaneous tasks that need to be done. It's like, you're a stay-at-home mother. These things could have been organized a very long time ago, by the way. But women, I've noticed this about Christmas time and holidays and things like this, man, is girls just love to make it as difficult as possible. Could have got the presents a long time ago, but no, we have to wait right up until Christmas in order to do anything about it. And then we have to race everybody around and cause a whole bunch of issues. And this is exactly why dudes are single, by the way, man. Too many issues, too much headaches. I'm getting a headache and I don't even know this woman.
30s. You are too old to be acting like that. So I'm pissed off, right? I'm furious, obviously. So he comes home last night after I had texted him, don't bother, stay at your buddy's house. I don't want you home. He comes home in the morning. He's like, hey, sorry. And I'm like, hey, not good enough. You messed up pretty bad, buddy. Like,
again, with this kind of language, man, is like, you know, she's sitting here saying, you messed up, buddy. Not your buddy. This is your husband, by the way. And she tells him not to come home. I just love how women try and pull this crap, man. The dude's obviously, he's the one. So she's a stay-at-home mother, she said. And so the dude, I assume, is paying the bills, if not the majority of them. And she has the audacity to say, hey, don't come home, like stay away from the home. You mean the home that he's probably paying rent for, that he's probably paying the mortgage for? This is not your house. You're not paying for the house. You are in the house. It's crazy to me, man, how these modern women just have no respect for the effort that the men do put into the relationship or providing for both of them. It's just completely invisible. You know, I did a video recently, man. Some woman was talking about the invisible labor that she contributes to the relationship. And I'm sitting here thinking, man, what about the actual labor that's being contributed? Do you want to go out there and work all day? By the way, there are lots of guys who would be happy to be a stay-at-home father and exchange, you know, going out there and working for being a stay-at-home father. But women want to be the stay-at-home ones. When do you ever see women actively looking for stay-at-home fathers? They don't do it, right? Because women don't want to look after men. They know that it's way damn harder to go out there and make a living and pay off a damn house. So they don't want to do it. And so what they do is they become the stay-at-home mothers, and then they complain about that as well. It's like you can't win as the dude. You provide for them, you're the problem. You're the stay-at-home father, well, she doesn't respect you and she'll cheat on you. Crazy, man.
Off, right? I'm furious, obviously. So he comes home last night after I had texted him, don't bother, stay at your buddy's house. I don't want you home. He comes home in the morning. He's like, hey, sorry. And I'm like, hey, not good enough. You messed up pretty bad, buddy. Like, that was pretty messed up. So anyways, I ream into him, as I feel I had every right to, because he didn't seem remorseful. He didn't really seem to care. And of course, in true my husband fashion, he then gets mad at me because I'm mad at him. And he cops an attitude with me for being upset with him because he thinks that the words, I'm sorry, should just instantly erase all of the emotions around that event, which is just not how humans work.
No, so let me explain what happened here, as if this woman is ever going to find this video or listen to what I have to say. So the reason why the dude didn't care is because he's already so damn detached from you. This is why he stayed out the entire damn day. This is why he went golfing and did these things in the first place. I mean, he would probably go golfing anyway because he probably enjoys it. But this is why he took so damn long, didn't want to come home, wasn't interested in talking to you, is because you're such a giant headache. And this guy is he's probably just there looking after the kids. You are such a pain in this guy's ass that he would rather just completely dip out and go do something else. So when he comes home, yeah, of course he doesn't care. He's not interested. This man has already psychologically dipped, man. You know, and dudes, even if they're not happy, will still try and make the relationship work. They will still stay in the marriage. They will still pay the bills. They will still do their duties. Unlike a lot of modern women who will leave whenever they are unhappy, right? So this guy has already dipped out. The reason why he gets mad at you is because you then decide it's a good idea to get mad at him. You know, like, again, this woman is a gigantic headache, has an issue with him golfing. This dude comes home to a storm of anger from his wife. Of course, he's not going to give a damn. Of course, he's just going to be more pissed off. He's going to be like, well, you know, this is exactly what I thought would happen. What the hell am I even here for? You know, like this guy doesn't come home to a loving environment. He doesn't come home to a welcoming environment. You know, there's like 5,000 different issues. She hasn't sorted things with the kids. She probably hasn't made dinner, despite the fact that she's just been sitting at home with the children all day. Nothing has been done whatsoever. And then he comes home to her wanting to start, you know, World War III with him. And then she wonders why he gets mad and he's disconnected from her. Genius, man. These women have no idea how men work. And this isn't even a man thing. This is just like a disrespect thing, to be honest with you.
Anyways, so then he's like, I gotta go pick up my golf clubs. I left him at his house. I'll pick up lunch on my way back. 2 hours later, he comes back with lunch and my meal is wrong and it's something that I cannot and will not eat. And I'm just like, oh, the rage I feel, I've been shaking all day. I'm so mad because I feel so disrespected.
Yeah, you feel disrespected. Imagine how the man feels. Again, this dude probably didn't even need to go and get his golf clubs. He arrived home. He came back home for 2 seconds. You were a giant pain in his ass. So he just leaves again. You know, like, again, dudes will remove themselves from these situations, man. Men do not want to come home to houses like this with women like this. They simply don't, you know? Like, I don't know what other way to say it, man. Men are not interested in having wives like this. What's the point of having the wife in the first place? Men, I don't think women understand this. Men very much value peace. If you cannot bring peace, or if you bring the opposite of it, don't expect your dude to want to be in the house with you. Yeah, he's going to work 90% of the time, whether that be to pay bills or simply to get away from you. And then, of course, he's going to want to play golfing, go and be golfing and things like this, because you're intolerable. Again, guys, I have known this woman for, what is this now, like 4 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. You guys have probably seen, you know, if you've made it this far in the video, congratulations, okay? You probably can't stand this woman either. So imagine how the husband feels after days, weeks, months, and years of this nonsense. Makes sense to me, man.
So I'm just venting because I don't really have any in real life friends. My social interaction is all online.
What a shocker. This woman has no friends.
So I'm just venting, and I don't care who you think was right or wrong. I don't care if you think it's not a big deal. I literally don't care. I'm just venting to get it out. But also, does anybody else feel that intense rage when their food is wrong? Because that tipped me over the edge. I was mad, and now I am like furious. And I know it's not his fault, and I know accidents happen, and the restaurant just put the wrong soup in, but I'm like, oh my God. After waiting 2 hours for a freaking bowl of soup and then to have it be the wrong soup, and now I feel like it's money wasted, time wasted. Please tell me somebody else is having a day and also gets upset when their soup is wrong.
So after all this rant and tirade about how her man's gone out golfing and about how it's such a huge issue, now she has an issue with this whole soup thing, which, let's just use this for reference, guys. I guarantee you, the night that this dude came home, no dinner was made. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't make a dinner for him. She didn't I mean, she might have made a little bit of like microwave food for herself or something. And then the next day, rather than making food, again, stay-at-home mother, by the way, waits 2 hours and then gets pissed off that her soup is wrong after this time. So not only is this guy coming home to a home that is just full of anger, his wife's nagging him, she's a complete psycho, she doesn't like when he goes golfing, okay? Clearly not grateful for the work that he does here. He comes home to all this nonsense. And then on top of that, no dinner is made. And then this woman can't even be bothered making the following day's lunch, even though she's just been at home this entire damn time. It really begs the question, what have they been doing? Like, I understand, okay, it does take effort to look after children. I'm not stupid, right? I do understand that this takes effort. But there is certainly downtime where you can be making food and things like this. But these women essentially just sit at home. They put their kids on like the iPads and crap like this. And then they do absolutely nothing except for rant about their husbands all day. This, in my mind, has to be like what the View's primary audience is, man. When I've seen that American talk show recently, this is the kind of woman who I think to myself,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Amos and bye-bye as I close out this this section. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for listening to that last long rant that woman had to put on, and joining us for the 2 hours that we've been on.
Yeah.
So we had some extra hours in this week, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For the 3 days. So we'll see how everything goes and what we can put in for the upcoming weeks. And thank you, Daughter Robotin, for all the help that she's done with my channel.
Yep, it's what we do, you know.
Wolf Boy Productions will be back up and running with live streams next week, as Wolf Boy will be back here.
Yep.
We're gonna go enjoy ourselves some Minecraft Bed Wars right now and settle the night down.
Yep, sounds good. Yep.
Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. See you, little one.
Have a good night.
Good night.